And we are back, part of this marathon Thursday edition of Infowars Nightly News. And we've got three of our great reporters in here, six of the new reporters that just got in the last few weeks, to talk about the amazing event that happened yesterday. I said go out and do man-on-the-street interviews on different subjects that they had chosen to cover. And they decided to go down and confront the TSA. Which, you know, we've stormed the Capitol over it when the legislature said that they were going to unanimously say no more groping, it's illegal, we're going to enforce the law. Obama said we'll put F-16s over Texas and shoot down any commercial aircraft that try to come in. They said a blockade. And so we stormed the Capitol twice over that. Dewhurst lost his Senate bid. Even mainstream media said because he helped sabotage the legislature. So this has been a big national fight. Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, the Drudge Report leading the fight there against the abuses of the TSA. And as I covered in the news segment earlier, now after 2 years of them trying to block FOIA requests by Congress and others, it's come out. The thousands of letters of women having them go in their pants and do things I can't even say on air. Children, people traumatized, pilots vomiting because, you know, these pervert TSA were groping them and getting off on it. It's one thing when your doctor does it, but it's one thing when these are weirdos that want the job to do this. And some are into women, some are into men, some are into little kids. Some of them like to just be mean to people. I mean, and you've seen statistically the criminality, the defrock priests, the rapes. And so they went down there and immediately, they call the cops in. The cops are like, you're being argumentative, you're being combative, because they're running this hoax that you have to have permission. Our taxpayer money paid for that. That's a commons, like a park. They can say, oh, well, for the security area, you can't. But the point is that they're arresting people all over the country for filming police in public, which there's no perception of public privacy. It gets thrown out of court. They don't care. This is an attempt against the First Amendment by a system that doesn't like citizen journalists. And when you talk about citizen journalists, Infowars is an outgrowth of that, and is like a King Kong-sized version of citizen journalist operation. And so whenever these guys are always trying to, like, scare submissive Americans that act the opposite as an American should act, they get so freaked out when you go, no, the Constitution. And they say, get your microphone back. There's some cross-talking things, but you can make it all out if you listen carefully later in this piece. I wanted to play it. And then, look, we've got the three reporters right here in studio with us. We've got Dan Bidondi, we've got John Bowne and Linda West right here. John's been with us about a year. Done a great job. Dan's been here about 2 weeks. And Linda's been here just a few days.
Yep.
So all the way from Los Angeles, you've worked in, just to introduce you because we haven't done this yet, you've worked in radio, you've worked in TV, you've run a major newspaper, and you also got a restaurant, and you still got that going part-time, and you're here doing this, so we're very, very excited to have you. And we're going to talk to each of you in turn about this event. Linda, down to Dan Bidondi here in just a minute. But just briefly, Linda, tell us what we're about to see.
Well, we went there because after the story about the LAPD passing that policy 1 where...
Well, just call it a policy. I mean, right. These aren't laws. They just say, we have a policy, you're a slave. We have a policy, we're going to inject your kids without consent with vaccines or give them an abortion. We have a policy to put you in a pit and shoot you in the head like Hitler did. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, right. And you said, well, that's not legal. So then I was going to do a story asking people how they felt about the TSA. And so I said, well... let's go down to the airport. Let's get in the middle of it. And so we went down there, and at first we started asking people, and it was okay. And then the TSA started coming by, and I tried to ask them questions, and they just act like robots. They're like, no, I can't talk to you. And I'm like, hey, what? We're just Americans. I'm just trying to talk to you.
Well, you're the enemy, though.
Right. And then they're like, well, no, you need to talk to our boss. And then the boss came over, and then he didn't want to talk either. It's like, you can't talk to us. And then the cop came over and tried to intimidate us. And
then you had other cops circling around you. You don't see all of them on tape.
Right.
And lots of, we got people that are talking about liberty.
Totally. He's like, I'm calling for backup. I'm calling for backup.
My God, a Constitution.
I'm talking to him. I'm saying, wait a minute. We're just Americans here. We're just asking people what they feel like. Why are you acting like this with me? We're both people. I'm like, you're probably a dad. I'm a mom. Why are you acting like I'm the enemy? I'm like, and he had that, like, steely, cold look.
Because they're so used to just submissive jellyfish that won't let their kids play outside, that are afraid of everything. I mean, we really are the nation of cowards.
It scared me because there was nothing in his eyes, Alex. It was like, there was no, like, when you talk to somebody and you can see, that they're relating to you, and he was just like,
Well, they think that's really cool to not be connected and not care and not be and just earlier I played the piece.
Right.
Where the police, I went this morning to Deep Eddy with my children to swim and stuff, and they had like 15 cadets there, and the teachers who were strutting around like the cop trainers, they were having weird races with each other to show the guys what men they were, and they were swimming at the speed I did when I was about 6. And they had their heads above, you know, doing the freestyle punches. This is the big commandos that we think of as invincible, and we're scum, and they've got uniforms. And then a bunch of the 15 cadets got in and were having to be hauled out and couldn't swim. And then they put them in life jackets. And again, I guarantee you, those guys all came from nanny state parents. And so they think they're going to nanny state you, and they treat you like you're 3 years old. Yeah. And that's how this attitude is, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, we were too, and that's why, even though he was threatening us and calling for backup, we didn't move. We're like, wait, it's not illegal. And then we're saying, are you arrested?
Well, it's all a bluff. They will grab people and say, it's the law, you're arrested for filming when they start groping a woman or groping a man, and it's all a lie. It's all a lie. You have a right while they're doing all this to you to tape what they're doing.
Right, and he kept telling us, well, you can't go. And we're like, well, are you detaining us? Are you arresting us? And he's like, no, but you can't go. And then, of course, Dan got in there and started telling him about the Constitution, which he seemed to have forgotten that he took an oath to uphold.
Well, let's go to this, and we'll come back and talk about it. Here's about 5 minutes of the event, and then we'll come back and get more from our reporters on this. But in America now, it's radical, and they were kind of scared by the end. They were freaked out that people came to want to talk to us about how we're now past the checkpoint, past the tyranny, training, slave point, not security point. Past that, they're sticking things in your drink that you buy inside the airport, and that's a big national news story. So how evil for press to actually show up unannounced and ask real questions. So here's that clip.
Yeah, what's going on?
Nice to meet you. I
don't want this on right now, all right?
Okay.
We're not going to talk on camera. I got to talk to you offline.
Offline?
Offline. You got that?
Why? Why are you upset? Aren't you the media?
No, I'm just coming to see. I understand that you're talking to some of our officers.
I wanted to ask some questions about the TSA.
We have a process when you come through the media office at this airport. Yeah. Everybody follows it. KXAN.
That's why I asked for you.
Everybody.
That's why I asked for you.
I'm not the PIO for the airport. There's a PIO for the airport. I represent TSA.
Oh, that's who I wanted to talk to. I wanted to talk to the PIO for TSA.
You just don't talk to me like this. We've got some other processes where we go through the PIO.
Why?
Can you guarantee us an interview?
No, not right now. I mean, if you call the head, that'd be fine. You know, maybe we could work some.
Okay.
Show up like this.
Oh, okay. You know, we're just Americans. We're just trying to get the story. What's one
you know that? You just can't.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like that in America.
How come this is America?
We should be able to talk to each other.
You work for Homeland Security?
Freedom of the press, first.
Okay, you work for Homeland Security? The bottom line is that.
The bottom line is the First Amendment, Jack.
Yeah, the First Amendment, sir. They took all the videos and all this other stuff.
The what?
The officers, the police officers.
Oh.
So we don't want that, you know.
Oh, okay.
Sir, but the thing is, you're a
because
public
they're not
official.
allowed to talk?
A public official has to answer in public. This is the First Amendment of the Constitution. You're a federal, you work for a federal agency.
What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me?
I'm not going to do anything to you.
Official, you have to answer the question in the
you
public.
guys?
We were just wanting to know, as fellow Americans, what
I got
do the
300
TSA
million. I got 300 million guys, man.
Well, you know, we're reporters. We're just trying to ask people questions.
You got to be professional.
That's why we ask you.
So your job is to basically come up and tell people that you can't help them.
No, this is the airport, and again, there is a process. You guys can follow the process.
The process to exercise the First Amendment. We're in the sir, could you show me in the Constitution where it says we have to follow process?
We didn't used to be like this.
And we know.
I used to be able to run on the plane, hug people. Well, I got grilled last time I came through, and I don't think.
And we know the State Department put the underwear bomb on the plane. That's on record, sir. How you doing, sir? Sir, the First Amendment says we don't need permission.
Yes, you do.
It's the first. Sir, do you write the Constitution?
Airport 17, TSA request.
So the airport police take orders from the TSA, federal government.
You have to have permission to film at the airport here. You can film as long as you go through the PIO, and they give you authorization to do it.
Authorization to exercise the First Amendment, sir? No, I just want.
So you can do it
Why do you guys got to follow orders by Homeland Security? I mean, you're the authority here, not Homeland Security.
I'm not following orders.
But they're the ones who summoned you.
They have a right to follow me to a public.
Absolutely,
like
but I mean,
any private citizen does.
they're the ones who summoned you for this occasion here. And you, as a law-abiding citizen, sir, you took an oath upon the Constitution to defend it. And which you did. Every officer does. I have many family who are airport police in Providence, Rhode Island, and people who are the state police as well. You take an oath upon the Constitution to have that badge upon your chest, sir. And the Constitution is to defend the Constitution and its republic, not take orders from these tyrannical people with Homeland Security.
Tyrannical people.
They are, sir. It's on record. It's on record. These guys put the State Department put the underwear bomb on the plane.
Obviously, you want to be confrontational.
No, not at all.
Yes, you do.
I'm just trying to address you as a citizen to citizen. That's all.
You can't.
We didn't do that, sir.
Okay. You went up to one of their BDOs, and he didn't want to ask your questions.
Yeah, and we respected that. We didn't. Yeah. All we asked is for a PIO, a public information officer. That's all we asked for. And by law, they have to have one.
Well,
These people don't have authorization to film here.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to tell them the proper process?
Yes, sir. What you got to do in order to film here is you're going to have to call our dispatch. You got to get with the proper individuals to be able to film here at the airport.
Do that. That's rude.
That's why I want him to be able to be
this time,
He can
we're
be
going to have to ask you guys
heard.
how to
Okay,
you got to go through the proper procedures
That's
to
just
film here
rude
at the
sticking that in
airport.
a...
So we're not saying that you can't in the future, but you have to go through the proper
And what's the proper procedure?
It's only legal to
Well, just I can give you the proper documentation. I can do that for you
In
once
this
the cameras
airport,
are
yes,
cut off,
it
but
is.
you cannot film
Okay.
here.
If you want to
About
keep
the proper
arguing
procedures.
I'm not going to
about
argue.
it,
I'm not going to argue.
Okay, but
there's a city ordinance
I understand, but I mean, like, we need to file proper procedures to exercise the First Amendment. Sir, this is the Constitution of the United States right
Let
here.
me see your driver's license.
Anywhere, I don't
Sir,
have to show my
let me see
ID,
your
sir.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't, sir.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. It's my constitutional right.
Let me see your driver's license.
I don't have it on me. In the Constitution of the United States, it says, shall not be infringed. Freedom of speech. Do you write the Constitution? I'm not being confrontational. I'm just standing up here as an American that wants to defend my civil liberties and my rights, sir. And to film in a public place is my taxpayers pay for this airport. Your salaries as well.
is Jason available?
Jason, I can give you a phone number where you can try to reach Jason.
Okay.
I can definitely do that.
All right, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Let's write that down.
I'll write it down. Do you know it off your head, or you got to
Yes,
go
I do.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And nothing against you personally, sir. I'm just defending the Constitution that you probably served when you were in the military, if you were.
Yeah, and
that's all we wanted, so we just asked what it
You're
is.
being totally confrontational.
We got it all on video, sir.
Totally confrontational.
No, I'm just defending my rights as a
You're being
citizen.
totally confrontational.
No, I'm not, sir.
We'll get out of here, guys.
You don't have that right here at this point.
And nobody should be
So
mean
this
to
ain't American
anybody,
property.
So for
This,
sure.
All right, guys.
See, you're being argumentative.
yeah, but
Do
sir,
you want to leave or not?
I'm leaving, sir. But the thing is, I'm asking, is
you,
this
guys.
not or is it property of the United States of America?
Do you want to leave?
I'm leaving.
We'll find that out.
Do you want to leave?
I'm leaving, sir.
Let's go.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
gentlemen.
Now, back that up if you're watching this on prisonplanet.tv or on YouTube later, and just really listen to the threats going on and everything, and police who never really face any real threat at the airport that isn't manufactured by the government getting the underwear bomber on the plane, like Dan pointed out, and things like that. Or when TSA goes crazy, strips down naked, starts declaring they're God, or starts trying to rape a woman in front of everybody. You know, that happens routinely. They just have total psycho power breaks. These are people that couldn't get a job at McDonald's, and suddenly they've been told you had an 8-hour course, you can read minds, and they just announce, I'm raping you, I'm God. I mean, this is what the elite wants. The lowest of the low, the dumbest of the dumb. Training us that our sons and daughters are now drug away to private rape rooms. Now they've got mobile armored command posts on the highway where they take you to a private physical rape room, and that's what it is. If you went to a park, grabbed a woman, stuck your hands in her pants, and did that, you would be charged with raping them. Whether it's the police raping people with nightsticks or their fingers, that's what this is. But it's just this total immersion. They think we're these jellyfish that'll put up with it. Let's start now with Dan Bidondi and move back down towards London to get our other points. Dan, you just saw the clip again. What's your take on the whole event?
Angry. That's all I have to say is angry, because these people think, because we're supposed to be these slaves. Don't ask questions. How dare you bring up the Constitution? How dare you? And these people make me sick, okay? These are supposed to be men who take a sworn oath upon the Constitution, upon duty. And when you bring the Constitution up, God forbid you are a slave to the system. And when I told the officer, I put the Constitution right in his face. It says, you show me anywhere, and the First Amendment says we have to apply for a permit, whatever, to exercise our First Amendment. Oh, do you have your ID? I don't have to show you my ID. And they told me, you have to stay here now. Oh, am I being detained, sir? No, you're not, but you have to stay here.
I notice you guys always call them sir. Everybody does, but they never call us sir.
No.
It's now they're the master, we're the slave. They're not the servant. They're the official, the authority, and we are the civilian. They use a military occupying force term because that's what this is. We have been occupied by foreign banks. They brag in all publications, all financial publications. It's a joke. I've heard them on Bloomberg Radio, CNBC. We've played the clips. Financial Times of London, they say, you Americans are our slaves, and they laugh.
Oh, yeah, you see the cop come out. He's like, got his hands on his belt, chest sticking out. I was like, yeah, you're going to learn to obey me. You're going to learn to shut your mouth and do what you're told. But you know what? I'm not going to obey you. I'm not backing down. That's why I'm wearing camouflage today, because I am declaring war on the New World Order. And so is John, so is Linda, so is Alex. And we are not going to stop. You want to raise your tyranny? You want to raise that bar? We're going to raise the bar even higher. We're going to go out all over the place we can to expose these scum for what they are. And it just makes me sick.
Because I think it's so normal, and by war, the info war. Infowars.com.
It is. It's an information war against the New World Order. And we're declaring that right now because, you know, we are not going to stop. Okay? We got more reporters here. The Infowars is getting bigger by the day, folks. And we're going to go global, which we already are global. We're going to go everywhere and expose the corruption of these scum. And
well, it just shows how disconnected. There were probably 50 people at the pool. They were all scared of the cops. Because I get there, also these guys in camo march in. They now have the cadets wear camo. And they have all these guys in red with USMC tattoos and everything. And I watched the head guy get in and go, this is how you swim. Like a five. And I was just like, you know, I mean, I wasn't a champion swimmer, but at Big Dallas Meets, I won blue ribbons and stuff routinely. My kids do. My 7-year-old could swim better than they could. And the commander could hardly swim. And I was just like, and they were like showing off. And there was all these swimmers just racing back and forth. And then, you know, some of the cops, I mean, most of them couldn't hardly swim. The two in the life jackets, they had to put them in them, they had to pull them out of the water. They couldn't even swim. And again, I'm not being mean, but if you took 15 people in an average cross section, old ladies that I know swim better than that, who are like 90 years old. My grandmother is 88, you know, had polio in the 50s, swims better. She goes swimming. And I mean, and it's like, but like they were all strutting around and looking at people that looked at them. I mean, whatever. I don't. The point is that it's a joke. I mean, I watched him like trying to pull him out and all this stuff, and it's scary, man. Because they're all about procedure, and all the cadets would bow to the other guys. It's like we're not monkeys or something, like kissing the hand like chimpanzees do.
Well, speaking of procedure, we went along with that little game at first. We told them, all right, because we questioned the TSA officer.
I noticed even well, no, they're not officers either, the TSA, but the point is, it's all lies. I noticed that when they finally sent the airport guy out with his weird red vest, he was bugging his eyes out like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, God, you Americans.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah,
don't question us, scum!
Yeah, we said, all right, we need to talk to your public information officer. That's a PIO. So,
and of course, even the PR guy's called an officer.
Oh, yeah.
But we're all they're officers. We're scum. That means we're all in drill camp. We're all in, you know, they're in boot camp. So you see all the psychology of this?
I do, and they try to put these intimidation fear factor on you, but it's not going to work.
So you can go be radiated
Yep.
and have a naked picture taken and maybe have some weird convicted pedo grab your testicles.
Exactly. Well, good news out of all this, we did get 2 people. It's on the full video. We did get 2 people to opt out. We really did, and you know, we spread awareness. But anyway, so this gentleman comes along from Homeland Security. We thought this was a PIO. So he ordered me. He's like, so arrogant when the microphone. He's like, how dare you interview me?
No,
how dare you?
It's like the new royalty, you filthy American.
It's like, take that microphone out of my
scum.
And they told me there's procedures again. Say, yes, sir, we heard that. We were just waiting for the PIO. That's what we're doing.
Well, we've done that before. They don't ever return our calls.
And here comes the airport police all acting all macho. I want to see your ID. You know, then all of a sudden the security comes. All these goons come and tell us the same story, and we say, sir, we are waiting for the PIO.
But they act like it's so evil at the entrance of the airport for media to come in.
Oh, God forbid.
They really did. And I think the best thing was that we didn't back down, and that's what freaked them out. They were like, they're not afraid, and they just didn't know how to
But you didn't let it escalate when he was saying you're upset and you weren't. You just kept stating the Constitution, which the one cop sees it and goes, because they're taught that's evil, man. They're taught, I have it on video, that George Washington is bad.
No.
It's in my film Road to Tyranny. The police, good police sent it to
People are
me.
even telling now founding fathers were terrorists. I mean, they're teaching classes on this. This is disgusting.
Yeah, so I mean, you pulled out like that is America, and to him it's like, whoa.
I even asked him that. Sorry, is this not United States property?
I said this is in Stasi, Germany. And he goes, hey, he starts coming to us. I said, what are you going to do, buddy?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? He's like, I'm not going to do anything. I said, and he gets on his phone. And
They always try to menace.
Yeah, he's like,
hey, big guy, you calling your guys now? You going to call your guys so you can feel like a big guy?
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what
said,
I got.
300 million guys, which means we've got 300 million plus people in this country. All you got to do is read the Bill of Rights.
It's our country. It's not the
do is
foreign
read
banks that planted their flag and have got a gang of people that'll push Americans around. Okay?
The game's over. It's over. It's over. You had your fun.
It's endgame.
We're starting this country over. You're a little handful of people with all the money. We're coming to get you, and it's done.
Yeah, and you told that one guy, too, you know, he was arguing with us. Supposedly, he was the one in charge of the TSA. And then you said, hey, I was born in America. He didn't look like he was born here, and he just
Well, I didn't mean it like that.
You didn't mean it like that.
No, but let's be honest. In England, they point out it's mainly foreigners that run the CPS taking the kids.
That's what it was.
No, it is. They're bringing in people who come from countries with no freedom, and they love it. They're like, you know, oh, let's.
My point is, I was born here.
Yeah.
I was raised under the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. I'm an American citizen. I'm sorry if you're not. Doesn't matter if you're not. I don't know whether you are or not. But I have these rights, and I'm standing here in your airport, and I'm going to exercise them. I'm sorry about that.
I saw some guys called Wolverine Security about 8 years ago in San Francisco. They were flying to Hawaii for a Pearl Harbor memorial. They were old guys with their wives that looked like they were about to die. They were even older with oxygen tanks.
I remember this.
And they'd already gone through the gates. They were harassing them up by the terminal to go on the plane. And this guy couldn't speak English and was gibbering and yelling at some guy that just probably died on his way there. And these are like old men with their eyes peeling down, water dripping out, going, eh. And like I swear, this guy had a USS Arizona cap on. So and this guy was in like Cobra Commander blue. It was a little bit in a beret, like, but I mean, no, I'm not kidding, because they had private security for a while on top of TSA. And it was just like, it was like surreal. It's like Red Dawn. That's what this is. This is like Red Dawn in slow motion. They just like, now we're sticking our hands down your pants. Now we've got checkpoints. Now you can't have your kids out playing in the yard. Now we're going to force shots on you. And it's just like, everything's fine. Don't be extreme. Everything's fine.
We're going to stick probes in your drink, too. Yeah, this is stupid.
Hey, well, it's to break our will, but it's to set the precedent that anything goes. Linda, we've been ranting. Do you have any other points?
Well, what really bothered me was, you know, the T-shirt you have that says apathy is treason, was all of the people that we were interviewing about the TSA that were okay with it, that were like,
well, no, they think it's cool if they do that. Like the mommy state, whenever you come and go, oh, thank you for putting me in a microwave oven, thank you for, and the TSA will go, back to good little slave. Sorry, keep going, let her keep going.
Psychoanalyzed them after a few questions.
Right.
You got to a point where they were like, well, you know, yeah, I got a problem with that. And
yeah, because I kept asking. Yeah, I'd be like,
they didn't hold.
No. It's fear. Right. It's out of fear. They're like, oh, I don't have a problem.
They got their fear out, and then they could talk.
Yeah.
Well, I see them on the news, and people will like fakely go, I love it. Yeah, I like it. You can tell their eyes like they don't like it. They're so afraid. They're like, yeah, I really like it. What's wrong with the NSA watching all of us without warrants? I think that's good. Well, shouldn't kids have shots? Should we force it on them? There should be cameras everywhere. Hi, officer. Oh, sir. The cops roll. You know, it's like.
Well, that cop, when I remind him about his oath, he goes, how do you know what I took? You know, I mean, everybody knows a cop takes oath on the Constitution.
Protect and defend the Constitution.
Yeah, and he goes, how do you know what I took? So, sir, you took an oath on the New World Order? Is that what you're trying to tell us? You took an oath to enslave humanity?
He took an oath on a Cracker Jack box.
Why is he taking orders from Homeland Security? He's supposed to.
Listen, we had cops in Virginia protesting Bilderberg, went to our hotel, and I walked down right when it's happened by the grace of God. I was leaving. He goes, the guy's going, is he causing problems? Are any of them doing anything? You call us, we're throwing them out. And they're like, no, we like them, because they were like listeners. Like, no, they're great. They're so nice. They're big tippers, too. And literally, the cop turns and he goes, hi, and he acted all like friendly. That's the cover. Oh, hi. And then he was like trying to make these word arguments with me and stuff, and it's like they think deceiving and lying and manipulating is like cool. Like they're on the winning team. Like, well, we're the good guys, so we do bad stuff because we're allowed to because we're keeping you safe.
Well, it's petty tyranny, and what petty tyrants do is there's always somebody in your family that wants to control everybody or whatever. There's always somebody you know that's got to take your energy, make you feel sad or powerless. Well, those people have been given these official titles. They're prone, their personalities are already ready for this. People like us, we don't take anything from those people. Maybe we had those people in our family.
And by the way, I noticed this whole office, we aren't trying to dominate other people. It's embarrassing.
No, but we've reached this culture of petty tyranny where it's acceptable.
Oh, you guys were at Barton Springs. I ran into you Saturday. You, Jakari, and David Ortiz. And I'm there with my kids and all that. And you guys are so like, are there any big fish that bite you in here? And I'm like, no, there are some saltwater eels that come here to spawn. You can look at it on YouTube. You're like, oh, really? Like, yeah, they're about 4 feet long, but they're not like morays. They don't bite people. Yeah, I saw it. It's right over there. Are there any alligators around here? And I go, well, actually, their range, if you look at the maps, is from Austin and the Colorado all the way to Florida. But the range about ends here. Every once in a while, they kill one out in the Colorado. And this woman's listening.
Remember that, yeah.
And she turns with like anger, and she goes, stop trying to scare them. There's no alligators. And I
remember that.
And what'd you say?
Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry, we have something to add to that.
Oh, well, but then I look over her nicely, and I went, no, I'm saying the Colorado River, that's about the end of the range. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you scare them. But it was like, that's the weird nanny state. Yeah. It's like, because it happens all the time, like talking or reading. People now, they're reading at a park, someone walk over and go, why are you reading? Well, I mean, it's now like
terrorism, isn't it?
Well, but no, I mean, no. Now it's like just. She just thought I was some guy over here going, "Yeah, there's alligators in there. Don't get in there." Oh, yeah. But the point is, she was listening. I saw her listening, and the fact that I had knowledge, like, so there's actually the saltwater American eel. Look it up. She thought it was like showing off or something. Literally, I found like these weird trendies and people that love the nanny state. They I mean, just like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, we went through the same thing. So we were filming in front of Starbucks, and this nicely dressed man walked up, and I said, hey, can we ask you a couple questions? I'm like, and he's like, oh, no, I don't have time.
His body language.
Yeah, it was really bad. I'm like, well,
I said, 5 people under me.
I said, it's, it's about freedom. It's about the government. I want to know how you're feeling about the way things are changing. He's like, oh, yeah, I've got somebody that'll be really interested in talking to you.
How long are you going to be out here? Yeah. I've got somebody down the block.
And I'm thinking he's going to go in and get a coffee.
You. And he comes out and he takes pictures of us, and he gets on his, and he saunters away because he's a saunterer, and he's calling on his phone to his, whoever his goons are, and it's like, what are you, hall monitor? Are you calling your mommy? What are you doing?
No, you don't understand. I didn't know this happened to you. Yeah. I'm talking about this right now. My dad 2 years ago has had a patient for more than a decade. He's treated the guy's mother. And, my dad, you can't tell me the name and stuff because of, patient, privilege, confidentiality. But, my dad has always thought the guy was kind of a, I'm not going to say anything. The point is, not a very nice person. And the guy comes with cards and says, I want you to join Homeland Security. We need you to spy on your patients. My dad almost thought it was a joke. Calls the number, finds out it's all real. They're like recruiting the InfoGuard Stasi. My dad thinks, do you think it's because I'm your dad? This is a setup. And I said, no, they're doing it to a lot of people. All these little minders. And they tell them, somebody's kids in the backyard, call police, they're terrorists. There's no real terrorist. It's now a pot plant, spanking kids. Hey, you're a cable installer. Do you see pills on the table? Is their name on it? I mean, so it's gone from terror. But listen, here's the next deal. Then Dr. King, the really nice doctor that worked under my dad, I don't know if you've met him.
He worked on my
Okay, well, you can add. He goes, my dad about a week later tells me, he goes, well, that's funny. Homeland Security came to my house and wants me to spy on people. What? And then they talked to all the other dentists around town, and most of them got a visit. And a bunch of them got on power trips, and they get little federal card and stuff. So you ran into one of those people.
Yeah, we did.
And I mean, I would love that. I mean, I would have started videoing him. I would have shown his car and said, we ran into a Stasi. So you said, tell me, stop. Let's stop now. Let's be calm. Because this is freaking me out. Because we got to end this in a minute. The show's already gone almost 2 hours. Tell me where you were, what happened, what your questions were specifically.
I have a little bit of video of this. I have the guy walking up towards us, and then he, as he went in, he said this smart aleck comment as he was closing the door. He said, I'll have somebody come down here.
A smile on his face.
He probably thinks it's illegal to be on the street with a camera, but so I mean, describe what he did.
Well,
you were out.
He was a pretty tall guy, and he had a cell phone on his hip.
Describe from the start briefly.
All right, we're interviewing people in front of Starbucks, and this guy's walking towards us, and she nicely asked him, "Would you like to speak with us?" And it just automatically, you knew that he was like, well, what is it you're doing?
He's like, lady, I go to Homeland Security meetings. I've reached godhood. Right. The status of this. Oh, yeah. And I finally found someone to report on.
Say something. Oh, wonderful.
So I continue.
So he walks up to us and basically refuses to do the interview and then says, no, but I think I know somebody that would really.
But what was the question? What was the interview about to find out why?
He wouldn't even start the interview.
Well, I said to him, hey, we're just trying to talk to everyday Americans about how they feel about the TSA and what's going on with the government. And then when he said, oh, well, I know somebody that wants to talk to you. And I innocently thought, oh, it's an Infowars fan, maybe somebody that really cares.
No. See, they know we're the enemy. I mean, they're building up for it. The 1.4 billion bullets, all of them. They're like, oh, soon, dearie.
Yeah.
So next the photos. Tell me what.
That's what he did. He went inside and he said, are you going to be here for a while? And again, me, stupid, thinking he says, oh, you're going to get a coffee and come back out and talk to us.
But see, that was the attempt to intimidate you with the photos. Mm-hmm. See, it's like, oh, I got you. But keep going.
So then he comes back out, and Dan was interviewing somebody, and you were shooting him. Mm-hmm. And he came, and he stood behind us all, and he started taking pictures. And I put my back to him because, you know,
oh, man.
I wasn't going to give him.
I'd have loved to have got his
face. And then he walked across the street, and he's looking back on his phone and everything. And
all these nobodies get to play secret agent. They don't know. They don't know they're recruiting basically everybody. And it's just to see if you'll be a little minion, and you're put in a database. I mean, folks, this government is so evil. Continue.
It was just disgusting that another human being, it was so...
No. The Germans, statistically, they've done breakdowns, were much more moral than we are now in the 1930s. And, folks, they were ready to kill their neighbors, just to be patted on the head by a guy in a black uniform. And these type of people, they would love to take over our society. So how did it end?
Well, he walked across the street and kept walking, and then we were finishing up then because it was the end of the day, and we went and we got back into the car, packed everything up, and as we were driving away, up come the cops. And
slows down right in front of Starbucks.
Yeah.
Goes right in front, slows down, basically looking for us.
He obviously called the cops.
So, you know, I mean, this snively little twits on the film.
See, I didn't even...
We got some slaves on the corner protesting. They're exercising their First Amendment. You better come over and arrest them because they're terrorists.
No, but I would have got out and said, officers, and they'll be like, we're just checking to make sure everything's all right.
We were on the other
side. A couple cops on bikes drove by us when we were starting to do the interview. They didn't even stop.
But see, you're like, we're not bad. We're just out talking to people. But see, that's the whole thing of that guy is just waiting for the day to see you go away. Maybe even your kids, too. Like, you know, because to them, this is power. This is fun. I mean,
he did have that. He had that.
It's like, it's our country now.
Right away. You knew right away.
Because these are people that don't produce, and they're understanding the power they're going to be given under this evil. They're like craving it.
Well, he come right from the Capitol. He's got this 5-piece suit, walking his jacket. You know, I'm too good for everybody. I'm going to club because these little bastards are exercising their First Amendment. How dare they? You know, it's sick, these little twits that...
Listen, the answer is we put the magazine on the street. Yep. We fight harder. Everybody supports us. Everybody buys the books, the products, the videos, and so we can get more information out. Everybody starts doing their own YouTubes. Everybody starts filming in your own area, calling it citizen journalism. We are the majority, and we're not going to be intimidated by people that call the cops on us.
We should shun these people, publicly shun. I mean,
let me tell you, that guy said that to me. I'd have gotten in his face and said, how dare you, Stasi? You get the hell out of my country.
Well, he didn't really say anything. It was more like he, insinuated.
We finished our...
No, but I would have eventually said, I got what you're doing, punk. I know what you're doing. That's a done deal right there.
I thought he was going to bring somebody down that actually cared about the government and talking about it. John knew right away, though. He's like, he's going to call the cops. He's a rat.
Yeah, well, if you've been in enough protests, there's always people around that are taking everyone's pictures and putting them in a little database. And hopefully there will be an amendment one day to arrest all those people.
Oh, and listen, they'll have the plainclothes cops, and they'll look at you and go...
Oh, don't forget.
It's like, I'm putting you in a database, you scum American.
Oh, don't forget
These are collaborators.
Was that the Patriot app on the iPhone? You see something, say something, you push your little iPhone app, and let's take a picture because they're exercising the Constitution.
What are they paying these people to turn things in, or what the heck?
They're paying them.
No. They wanted my dad to spy on his patients, which is so illegal. I mean,
so illegal, patient.
But I mean, here's the issue. They're doing it with everybody. And it's not about terrorism. It's what are they saying? What are they doing? And it's just to find out. It's all the managers, mid-level, people like dentists, I mean, people that are over chemical plants, people that are over shipping companies. And these guys have cards and get off on it. And then they find ones that are criminal and start using them for their criminal operation. It's the mafia, folks.
They're criminals, and it's time. And Chris, you talked to Chris Hedges yesterday. It's time for civil disobedience. It's time to go out and find these.
Well, here's the deal: if these bullies are able to get everybody scared and win, the stuff that look, it's in the Army documents, the re-education camps. They want to send trucks to pick us up. They want to, like the weatherman, Obama's people said.
It's all
they
there,
want
folks.
to kill us.
Listen,
people like that. People that support this, it's so good. It's so good, the power, that they really want to hurt people.
Well, they just have no life. Obviously, he had no life.
No.
Because if you get off on something like that, then you don't have a life.
Well, I mean, it's a total, some of them do have a, quote, life, but it's all about the relish of this to their employees and the relish of driving up the nicest car at the golf club and walking in and being mean and like Hillary and all of them. It keeps coming out in the news. Like basically the whole governing class doesn't even give tips. They'll have like a whole banquet and people all day serving them, not even $1. I mean, they are just, these...
They're not individuals. They're part of the Borg. And the Bill of Rights, the first 4 Bill of Rights are about the individual, then 5 through...
They hate, because if you honor yourself, you want to honor others. If you, listen, what you do to the least of me, you do to me. And, you didn't bring in the stranger, you didn't help the person that was hurt, you weren't a good Samaritan, I do not know you. And that's what God says. So of course, it's not just that they don't care. They enjoy looking up and down. Because I parked cars in college. I did all of it. Some of the richest houses in Austin. Some of the rich people were nice, but a lot of them would love dressing somebody down for no reason. Love and going, I worked parking cars for about a year, and we were out at Rob Roy, probably some $40 million house. And they had told us only like 100 guests were coming, like 300 came. There was only like 6 or 7 valets. We had to go way down. We'd have to run back. I used to be in great shape. We had to run back like 500 yards from this dirt parking lot up the road. And I come back, and the quote manager was busy parking cars. So it wasn't that many of us. He goes, I want to know where he is. He goes, I want to talk to somebody who's in charge right now. And I was like, very calm, coming from nice, articulate family. I said, sir, I'm so sorry. He's right down there parking a car. He should be back in just a minute. Can I answer any questions? And of course, the guy, now I'm more wise. I've learned kind of those old rich guys really hate young, good-looking guys or girls. They just hate youth. Like a normal person who's older sees youth and beauty and admires it and feels good for it. These people hate anybody who's got it better than them. But listen, I was at the restaurant, and he goes, listen to me, you're going to be fired, and then you're going to be homeless on the street. And he called, got me fired, and I came into work the next day, and the manager said, hey, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, that guy, he called, did a bunch of stuff, and got you fired. And I was like, hey, you know what, it's all right, because I was in college. I said, I'm already starting my Access TV show, and like 4 months later, I was on the radio. But it doesn't matter. I've seen those rich people, or want to be rich sometimes, who will just enjoy being mean to some young waitress. And I've watched it, better looking they are, especially good-looking women. They will, you think that's going to get you ahead, they sit there, and these mean women and stuff are like really mean to them. I mean, this is an evil country, folks. I mean, this is a demonic, narcissistic country.
Can I tell you quick, because it just popped in my head while you're saying that is...
You were in food service before for media.
Yeah, well, I was a cook for a while, but before that I did some landscaping when I was in college, and that's brutal work. And I was in the rich folks' neighborhood, and these kids were having a lemonade stand, and I went up and I bought lemonade from them, and the mom runs out, because she saw that I was with the landscapers, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. They're making some good money there. And she goes, yeah, hopefully they won't end up like you.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. I live in a middle-class area, and like when people come out to do work on the house, they'll go, nobody's ever nice to us or talk to us. And these wannabe yuppies who aren't even wealthy, usually they're leveraged out, have 3 cars, live in a $500,000, $1 million house, and they're the worst. They treat anybody like crap under them. Just, gonna get you. And that's what this whole culture is. It's not just the cops. It's not just the TSA. It's because even if a TSA worker only makes, $20 an hour or whatever it is, which isn't bad, but the point is it's taxpayer paid for off of the security fee they do, so that's why they put an underwear bomber on the plane to get the security fee. That's why they staged that new thing today, clearly, because all the news is out about the drinks, and there's, a hoax about a bomb with a drink.
Just in time, too. Just in time. Remember, hit the
just in time, but that's their class. That's what they've got now, is they get to be mean to people all day.
And the NSA didn't call you.
Even though they called.
Yeah.
And we have it on the... But anyways, that's enough of that, guys. No, I mean, that's it, is that when you watch Caddyshack or something and he's like, yeah, you know, I don't know about enough money or get a scholarship. And he goes, well, the world needs ditch diggers too. Well, if that's the whole point, okay, Sadie's got to be a ditch digger. He relished that the world needs ditch diggers too. Mm-hmm. Versus the Rodney Dangerfield, who's really a funny character and has probably got 100 times Judge Smail's money. And he's like, I'll take 3 of these, 4 of those, trying to, you know, spread the wealth around. Here, buy yourself something that looks good. You know, move up in line. Here's $100.
That's a happy guy. Well, he's got friends.
Well, but those are rich Hollywood guys kind of telling you how the world really works right there. That whole movie is how the world really works.
Right, it is.
Well, a lot of wealthy people that are really wealthy and have made their own wealth, they're conscious and good people.
Well, that's like Ty, you know, the pro golfer in it, when he's like, you know,
pond to be good for you.
Yeah. But even that's a little comment. Well, you're gonna come out of the house, but not because he was poor, because he was so weird.
It's the climbers, the ones that want to climb up to the next rung, so they're going to be mean to other people because they think somehow it'll raise them up.
And they wonder why they're not happy. They wonder why they don't have any future, because you're not going to be happy crapping on people. No. I mean, it
comes down to that addiction to petty tyranny, and that's the basis of Satanism, Luciferianism, the people that are all running
the petty tyranny addiction.
Petty tyranny, it's just the
drug of petty tyranny.
The drug of petty tyranny.
You know, Confucius said when an elephant's down, even a frog will kick him. So, you know, this
Yeah, but I never feel good when I see some big person fail or fall if they're not a bad person. Now, if somebody's really evil, I don't even get happy for that anymore. I just think, man, how sad they were evil. You know what I mean? I know. I never get, like, you know, going out to a cocktail party or something, and there's some really beautiful women there.
It's humility.
Or, like, really handsome men there, and other people are, like, mad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really strange.
I think humility is based in love, you know, but if you're not able to be humble, then you go to this empty, soulless place where you put everybody down and you just suck the energy.
Well, look where it all starts. I mean, it all starts in places just like the airport. You know, the system wants to make you feel timid, keep your head down, don't look at me, you know, just go through the scanners, we've got to put our hands down your pants, keep your mouth shut, get on the plane, and sooner or later you get the taser bracelets that they were calling for. And
can you believe that Homeland Security actually entertained making us all wear taser bracelets and said they like it, but they don't think it's that feasible? Hey, this has been an amazing talk. Great job. How radical you are to actually go and talk to the media officer.
Bring it on, you know. We're not afraid of these people.
Wait till Formula One.
Well, okay. Oh, exactly. Well, no, the whole city sold us how we had to pay for the whole thing. Also, the mayor can sit in the box like a parrot higher in the tree. That's what all this is about. And it's like, hey,
that's hilarious, like a parrot higher.
Well, you know, with like cockatoos, like in Australia, like the dominant one wants to sit at the top.
Right.
You know,
pseudographic with Leffingwell's face.
Hey, great job, guys. Right. It's great having you. You brought so much energy to the already incredible operation. Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about 1.5 years ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of longevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com, sign up as a distributor, and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this edition. If you believe in what we're doing, no, they're all behind the scenes trying to shut us down. I don't even give it attention. All sorts of dirty tricks, you name it. Buy the books, buy the videos, buy subscriptions, 15-day free trial, 6 memberships for $5.95 a month. You can share your username and passcode with up to 6 people simultaneously. It's all right now up there at prisonplanet.tv or InfoWarsNews.com. Buy the Pro Pure water filters at the lowest price anywhere on the web by 10%. with the promo code WATER at InfoWarsStore.com, because they're scared of us. We're having a huge effect. And for all the AM and FM stations that are picking us up and putting us on, it shows how far this message has gone, that Matt Drudge is supercharging us. We love you, Matt. Thank you for your courage and what you're doing. I know behind the scenes they try to get you to stop linking to us. To everybody supporting us, people realize we're putting our lives on the line. Believe me. And you know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to beat these people. We're not turning the world over to these scum. CPS is grabbing thousands of children today to do unspeakable things to them on record. Okay? That's the danger. This government is evil. We will stand against it. It's illegitimate. You are foreign occupiers like Vichy French working with the Nazis. You are collaborators and you are enemies. Those of you that aren't enemies of the Republic that serve the system as bureaucrats or as corporate minions or as Infraguard, you better decide which side you're on right now. So everybody vote by spreading the word about the show, the radio, the nightly news, and vote with your dollars. Support us so we can turbocharge the next level. Visit InfoWarsStore.com for mid-air refueling, as I call it, because we are backed by you, the people. We don't take your tax money and then use it against you. We don't force you at the barrel of a gun to give money to us. We say, if you believe in what we're doing and you share this lust for liberty, this desire to defeat tyranny, if you feel the way we feel, if you know that this has gone on too long, then join us now. Literally, the destiny is in your hands. That's it for this edition.